Alright, we should be live. I haven't done a live stream in ages, and I thought it's probably best I do one because it seems like there's loads of people panicking, which is understandable, which is fair, especially if you're in individual stocks. So I thought let's do a little live stream, and yeah, so yeah, my portfolio is absolutely tumbled down, which I did say would happen at some point. It's just a question of when. It could have happened in a few months' time. It could have happened, well, whenever. Like you just never knew when it was going to actually happen. But um, these things happen. You need corrections. You need this to be fair. So sometimes you don't. There's not like an exact reason of why these are happening. I mean, the job report wasn't great. Um, but I think also it comes down to just getting rid of, like, I did a video, didn't I? My latest video actually, which I need to do a YouTube video, another one soon. It's just been really hectic and busy with work. Like I've not had a time to really do videos, and I just feel like I've left everyone in the dark with the YouTube side of things. Like, and it's just down to me being busy. Like I wanted to do some videos, but obviously I made a YouTube video before all of this properly started happening, saying obviously there's signs of why there could be a correction coming. Um, Obviously a correction still hasn't happened technically. If you go off the QQQs, like it hasn't gone above 10%, um, which is mad to think. If obviously if you're in individual stocks, probably people thinking, what the hell? Um, but yeah, there's just a lot of pain in everything at the moment, and I'm down on a lot of stocks. Um, and it is what it is. Like that's the stock market, and at least obviously if you're new to stock market, you're witnessing this, and this is why I've created this channel to just be transparent, because it doesn't always go up in a straight line. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Um, but some of these companies and some of the valuations they're trading at they're so cheap. Like they are so cheap. But then there's also, even in my mind, there's some question marks with things. Um, yeah. By the way, am I lagging? Because I hope I'm not. But anyway, I'll wait for people to get in the stream. But I don't know why my laptop seems to be playing up today. I did just chuck it on. I thought let's do a live stream because everyone in the comments on my Instagrams and TikToks are like panicking, which is understandable. But yeah, so many stocks are absolutely falling off a cliff, like you say, Charlie. Oh, not Charlie, sorry. Payne. Your name as well. That just sums it up. Yeah, their numbers were great, but the problem is there's companies reporting great numbers, but valuations are high. They just are. Like I was celebrating and was like really happy with hitting 100k in my portfolio, like £100,000 in my portfolio, and it's become like now a thing where it's like £100,000 not like a big achievement because so many people were hitting it because there were stocks trading at crazy valuations. Um, Evening, Tom. Evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I hope everyone's having a good day to an extent, outside of the stock market. But I will show the portfolio in a minute as well, so we'll get the guesses in the chat. But let's just say it's been hit hard. And I will be doing like a portfolio update video and stuff and talking about stocks. I want to talk about Palantir's earnings as well. I don't know if I'll talk about it in this stream because I might do a video on it. I've still not worked it out if I'm doing a video on it or just adding it into the portfolio update. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, bought some Palantir shares today. Seems like a great price long term. I would agree now at this price. Like, I haven't personally, but yeah, I would. I they're looking decent. Um, yeah, they're under 200 PE now. That the price they're at, like $126 is crazy. Um, so I haven't seen the recent news with Oscar, no, with the. Yeah, no, but the thing is, I can't predict if the market's going to crash. If I knew this was going to happen, then yeah, you would just sell out and buy back in. But I didn't know it was going to happen. Like, you know, it was going to probably happen at some point, but like, you don't know exactly when. It could have happened in, I don't know, May. Well, you just don't know. But it was needed. It was definitely needed because it's just crazy how much it has run up. But there's some points that I want to talk about because I find this really interesting. But let's get into it. Guess in the chat what you think the portfolio is, and then once we do that, I'll just want to show you some points that I've had a look at and compare it to April. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you think the portfolio is at, and I'll just say it's bad. It is actually really, really bad. Yeah. Let's see what people are saying. Because like I say, I haven't done this in a while, so we'll see if anyone's near. All right, someone is spot on. Someone's actually spot on with the number. So there we go. that is it. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, so that's the portfolio. But what we'll do is I want to talk about this because I find this quite intriguing, quite interesting. Let's say. So let's go off Palantir, for example. In April, let's go to April. That April crash from peak to trough went roughly down 38%. So keep that number in mind, 38%. Peak to trough from here to now, pretty identical, 37, 38%. Bit weird, like that's mad. So they've both had the same corrections from April and also now. SoFi stock, from peak to trough all the way at the bottom, 43% correction. So in April, it had a 43% correction. So peak to trough down here, 39%. So it's getting close to even what April was. It's pretty much quite the same, identical. AMD stock, from peak to trough, 31%. From peak to trough now, 27%. Like, they're so identical, they're so close. Like, they've all had very similar corrections to what April was. All these individual stocks. So, but the weird thing that I'm finding is the QQQ is only down about 5.7%, 6% if you include probably the after hours, let's say 6%. But then you go off what it did here, it was so much more, all the way down to 23%. Like, it's just a bit weird that some of these individual stocks have had some crazy corrections, but the QQQ hasn't had so much, when the individual stocks had similar corrections in April to now, but the QQQ had a heavier drop. I just thought I'd point that out and see what people think of that. It's quite interesting, actually. So let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, there's some buying opportunities. Fubo, I'm down loads, like absolutely loads. Like, having them do a reverse split, which doesn't change anything as for the company at all. But obviously, they don't want to be trading at $1. They want to be they want to get more institutional buyers, and trading at $1, it doesn't look appealing. So people weren't happy with the reverse splits. So that took it down. And then they also didn't give guidance, which I wanted them to give guidance. I said they need to give guidance. They didn't. So did all the other investors. Hence why it's absolutely dropped dramatically. And it is so... It's just insane. Like, it's trading at... What's the PE now? 4. The PE ratio is 4. They beat earnings. They're growing. They're getting closer to profitability. They've pretty much got the same amount of cash as their market cap. Like, Disney wouldn't have just done the merger or buy them if they didn't think this company's going to survive. Like, they know, they believe in the company with Fubo. I just think it's getting absolutely priced to bankruptcy. Like, they just think it's going to go bust. But hey ho, we'll see in a few years' time. I think Fubo might just take a bit of time. It needs just time, it seems. And I am down with it. I mean, with Palantir, I was down 60% at one point, so nothing new there. But people get very emotional in the stock market, which is fair. It is quite a hard thing mentally, but if you can get past that barrier, and because things like this, if it was easy, and if you were going to be going green all the time, everyone will just be rich. Everyone will be doing well, and I would be worried if Fubo was like missing earnings and they were losing more money, or do you know what I mean? But they weren't. So it's like they're making more money. The revenue's going up. Grab be interested with earnings, but at the moment the market's going, I just don't think it's going to do much. Oscar earnings coming up next week, going to be interesting, but yet again the market conditions aren't great. So even if it did do well, I think Oscar as well, it's more at the back end of 2026. It should start picking up and doing well. That's trading at 0.3 times sales. Like, this is cheap as. Like, this is so cheap, in my opinion. SoFi absolutely been beaten down. Like, I don't know. I wonder what the bottom is for SoFi. Like, is this the bottom? Like, they've had a correction and a half. AMD is a great buy, I think. Like, that's just... Yeah. Palantir's actually starting to look like a buy now. So... Yeah. 133 people watching, no way. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying this stream. Yeah, and please rewind. If you've missed some of the stream, rewind to what I've said, because I pointed out some individual stocks and gave you an example of what April was like and what is happening now with individual stocks. And it's very similar. It is literally identical, the corrections that they've had with individual stocks from the 3 examples I've just shown. But the only thing that's different is the QQQ hasn't really corrected much, which is, you could say, worrying in that sense, because, I mean, if the QQQs go down even more, then obviously this could get worse. I remember celebrating, like I say, being at £100,000. Like, yeah, April. I hit £100,000 before the April correction. I hit £100,000, even though it's saying 99. I did hit 100,000, and then it went all the way down, and people going, "Oh my God, you should have sold. You should have sold." But you just don't know. And these were tough times when it was 65,000. It was tough. Like, people obviously giving you hate online, which I don't mind, because that's what comes with showing your portfolio online, and that, like, you're going to get that. But the difference was, I didn't need the money now. This is a long-term thing for me. This whole portfolio is long-term. Remember that, long-term. I know what I hold. I do the research. I listen to the earnings calls. I see what's going on. I ignore the short-term noise that happens. You get situations like this. Sometimes there's not even a reasoning why things go down. Sometimes it needs to be done because of the margin people take on. And I've shown you a video, my latest YouTube video, showing you the margin issue. There's so much people taking on too much margin. and this was before this whole thing happened, and I was showing you some valuations of like how some smaller individual caps are valued more, or if not the same, when they've not making any money at all or grow it. Like, I've shown you the latest YouTube video. I definitely would recommend watching just to get an idea. So this just flushes all of that out. But anyway, going back to my point, I don't need the money now. This is not money I need now. It's a long-term situation, long-term thought process. I know it's boring to hear and it's the same old, but it's just true. That's the way my mind is. It's all long-term. And then I'm glad I was holding and stayed, because if I did sell at this point at 65,000, then I would have missed out on all this when it went up to 200. I think it went up to 215,000 at one point, which is obviously mad to see. And now obviously we're not at that point. But this is what happened, and graphs go up and down. And if you look at my portfolio now on the all-time on the max, this looks healthy. This does look healthy. This is what needed to happen, because going up in that line here, it's just ridiculous. It's just not going to happen. And I kept saying it on my live streams and stuff. And yeah, like, if I knew this was going to happen, why didn't I sell? But I'm just not someone who just trades, and I just sit in and I just average back in down as it goes. That's just how I do things. So then I don't get emotional over things. I think that's the secret for me anyway. That's what I personally do. Yes, I could make more money maybe if I did sell and buy back in, but sometimes in the long run, if you're going off decades, you probably might lose out. There'll be the odd time where you would have messed up massively. But yeah. But now this looks healthy, that we're having quite a sharp correction. Though it's not like a gradual, it's pretty rapid down actually. But maybe now we start trading sideways from now on, because valuations have got actually more reasonable. That's what maybe might happen. Or we might go down even more. Like, I would not be shocked if I touch the 100k mark in my portfolio. If it went more below 100k, then I would be a bit more like, okay, this is aggressive. And if it did go below 100k, I just don't think it would last that long. It would be quite a bit, kind of like COVID crash kind of thing, like a flash crash. But 2022, like, that was brutal, guys. Like, in 2022, I had a whole year of just red days, and it was one of those, like, the way I got through it was just concentrating on just working, making more money to buy more stocks, and also just almost forget about it. Sometimes that's what maybe you guys might, obviously this doesn't help me as a YouTube channel, but sometimes it might help not even watching me and just not watching any stock videos and not looking at your trading app. Like, you just come back at this in 6 months time or a year's time. Like, do you know what I mean? Or even a month's time, or even next week. And it can also go up just so. Wait, I need to get this right. It can go up just as quick as it's gone down. Do you know what I mean? You need to remember that. It can just go up just as quick as it goes down. And I'm sure some of you have seen that. But yeah, people who are in ETFs are they're kind of fine, to be fair. But then I'm also confident if you come back at this in a few years' time, you'll be like, thinking, God, I'm glad I held. I'm glad I was holding. I'm glad I didn't sell. I'm glad I bought more stock. It's just right now, as people who hold individual stocks, you're feeling the pain. And also, people that are considering selling, if you're needing the money now, then yeah, maybe, but you should have never got in the stock market in the first place. It should seriously be such a long-term thing. This is what I hope people can learn from. But I bought some more SoFi in my invest account, but my invest account's looking shocking because obviously I started my invest account at the top, literally like generally at the top, the local top you could say for the stock market. So, but then I think that hopefully that's a good way of just proving to people that even if you buy at the tops and you average down, you come out winning. But anyway, look at some of these stuff that I've bookmarked. I think this is quite okay, let's watch this because I think some of these need to be watched.
I'm not recommending that people buy stocks today or tomorrow or next week or next month. I think it all depends on your circumstances, but you shouldn't buy stocks unless you expect, in my view, you expect to hold them for a very extended period and you are prepared financially and psychologically to hold them the same way you would hold a farm and never look at a quote and never pay it. You don't need to pay attention to them. I mean, the main thing to do, and you're not going to pick the bottom, and nobody else can pick it for you or anything of the sort. You've got to be prepared to, when you buy a stock, to have it go down 50% or more and be comfortable with it. I'm not recommending that people buy stocks.
And that's Warren Buffett, like the best investor that's ever lived. And I mean, like you said, you've got to be prepared to go down 50% or more. I mean, Fubo's down 41% in my portfolio. It's just, you can't always predict the bottom of things. And as long as you're in good stocks or you've got your thesis on it, then you should be fine. But people obviously watch stuff day to day, watch YouTube videos day to day, streams, look at their portfolios day to day. I'm guilty of it. But sometimes you just chill and relax. Like, I know it's hard when it's down, but yeah. Listen to this as well.
The AI business is accelerating, with the launch of MI400 series and Helios representing a major inflection point for the business. Based on the strength of our Epic and Instinct roadmaps, we are well positioned to grow data center segment revenue by more than 60% annually over the next 3 to 5 years, and scale our AI business to tens of billions in annual revenue in 2027. Our AI business is accelerating, with the launch of MI400...
tens of billions in revenue by 2027 in there, and that's just the AI business. Like, I just don't think people can comprehend how much money AMD is about to start making, especially with the MI450 and their future chips coming their way. They had some price upgrades, AMD here, as you can see, to 328 up from 283, 300 from 270, and obviously at the moment AMD is sitting at 188. I found this actually quite. I'll just save this because of the PayPal situation. How, like, hearing a quote like this and then 2 years later nothing's kind of happened. Can you believe in PayPal? This is a really good example, and look at how much money Palantir is making. So this is 2022. And look how much it dramatically changes over the years. Like $612 million. $612 million. And then back at the beginning, they were losing 190 million. Like, they're going to be a money printer, Palantir. Like, the growth is crazy with that. Like, I want to talk about Palantir more, but I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it, to be fair, like, or in my next, do you know what I mean, portfolio video. Amit did a really cool write-up as well. AMD's earnings were great. They were really, really good. And, I mean, Palantir's was just incredible. Like, actually incredible. But this is another example of the PE situation. Palantir was sitting at $156 with a 700 PE at the time of this post 6 months ago. 6 months ago. It is sitting at $154. It's not now, it's less than that, and obviously. But even at $154 with a PE of 240 today, that PE is dramatically falling very, very quickly because of how quick Palantir are growing. And that's why I wasn't too worried about the PE as such. Obviously, it's worrying when it's valued at that, but what I'm saying is that PE is going to dramatically fall because of how quick they are actually growing. And this is just a good little example. And the fact that now you can actually buy it at $126. Yes, as it stands right now, it's priced still a lot, but with the rate they're growing, I think it's actually getting like a decent-ish price. Definitely $100 I'd be looking at adding. Because of my cost basis is down a lot, it's like, yeah. Oh, we're rebounding very slightly. Let's hope. This was interesting. City today raised its price target on Palantir PLTR to 260, up from 235. Interesting. I just was favoriting some of David Gandler's tweets. Obviously, the CEO of Fubo. Yeah, he's just trying to say, backing up the reasons why with the reverse split. And like he said here, I get it. The reality is a reverse split doesn't change the value of the equity. Our intent is to attract institutional capital, reduce volatility, and better align our share count with the scale of the business we're building. And to be fair, like, I'll hold up my hands if I get a stock wrong. And I don't want to say I've got it wrong yet, because I think it's unfair to say if I've got it wrong, because it's only been like a year. Maybe in 3 years' time, that's when I could reevaluate and go, look, I did get it wrong. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Then you hold your hands up high and just brush it off, and you've lost. Like they happen. You pick bad stocks, but I am confident still with it. So it's just right now it does look ugly, and it looked ugly with Palantir. I looked like an absolute idiot buying Palantir at the time. You've just got to sometimes look past things. So yeah. So yeah, this is one thing that I want to talk about as well with Palantir briefly, is the fact that the revenue growth is coming a lot from the existing customers. So they're spending more on their contracts. So and it just shows you how good the product is. Like, customers are spending more money with Palantir because it's great. And it meant that their operating expenses went down, which is weird, because if their operating expenses went down, you wouldn't think their revenue would go up, because you're not spending as much on marketing, let's say. But because the business model that Palantir has to offer, customers are wanting to spend more with the product and get more out of Palantir. Palantir dilutes shareholders to oblivion, and what he's obviously saying is, like, the share dilution is decreasing, because before it was really bad. It was actually really bad, but now it's like 1.8%. It's not a lot. It's not a lot increased year on year. JP Morgan upgrades SoFi to $31. No, I understand about taking profits and stuff. I get it, but my thing's not, like, I'm just not that type of person. I'm just not short term like that. Like, I just rather sit and hold with things. It's like with Warren Buffett said earlier on in the stream with that video. It's like you don't just get so attached with things day to day and just sell it. And like, if you bought a farm, you're not going to just sell it when you think you can sell it for a good price and then buy back. Like, you just you sit on it. It's like buying a house as well. Like, you just sit on it for years and years and years. Like, you don't, obviously people buy and sell and stuff, there's always that, but I'm just not that sort of person too. Like, I'm not, like, everyone's got their differences though. There's not like a right or wrong. And these are some of the testimonials from Palantir that you can have a read up on if you want to pause the video. It just shows you how good Palantir is. Yeah. I won't touch on that now. I think Fubo got a price upgrade as well to $3. And then SoFi added 1 million new members in Q4, so that was a big achievement for SoFi. The largest crash in decades, 7 trillion. Oh yeah, with the metals, that was a few days ago now. But yeah, that's a little update with things. So yeah, thought I'd do a little stream to just touch on everything, because why not? Yeah, Oscar, we're going to have to see their earnings next week. I think it's Tuesday, next week. So we'll see what that is. When would you predict a reversal to take place? That's obviously very hard to say, but I mean, we have had a correction in quite a lot of individual stocks. Like I mentioned, it's quite similar to April when it comes to individual stocks. They've all had very similar corrections to what April was, if you actually compare it. So maybe that's a sign of a bottom for that side of things. But then the thing that worries me is the fact that the QQQ is only down 6%, whereas April it was down 21%. So yeah. Any bargains at the moment? I can't give financial advice, so yeah, I can't. But personally, I think there's a lot of bargains. I think Oscar's cheap. I think obviously Fubo's at a PE ratio of 4, like 4. SoFi, I think I've been buying SoFi in my invest account, so but yeah, hopefully everyone's had a decent-ish day. What else is there? I'm not gonna lie, like, it is tough. It is tough, like, sitting here showing your portfolio when it's down to lots of people, because it is. But also, I know what I hold, like I say, and I know the game a bit now. Like, I've been in the stock market since 2020, so I've experienced like the COVID crash. I've experienced 2022. I've experienced like that April correction and that. So it's just now that I've got a bit of more of a bigger audience, it's like, yeah, it's a lot. But and the other thing is as well, like, I just hope, like, the reason why I started all of this was just to track everything and just to prove that a normal, ordinary person can try and escape the rat race or get away from all of that. And I'm not a clever, smart person. Like, I guess put the work in, constantly look at information. Like I'm not the best. I'm just not. I'm not smart. I'm not clever with things. Like it takes me ages to understand something. But I think the big thing as well is just mindset. In the stock market. So, and times like this are hard because it's not just seeing the red, it's also seeing the trolls coming out, and this is when they say, oh, blah blah blah. But luckily it doesn't really it doesn't like put me off or anything, but it's tough sometimes. No, I'm glad that has, Charlie. I'm glad it's helped. You're smashing it, bud. Oh, I appreciate it. Respect for not selling Palantir at all over 200. Real conviction. I'm hoping the house. I get the house next month. I'm hoping, and that's the other thing. I can't really be buying these dips too much because of the house. Like I've got to be cautious. Obviously, I'm not touching this portfolio, touching this cash, but I just got to be more careful with things. But I have been adding in the invest and that. So when I sell out of the stocks like AMD, obviously we're in a cycle at the moment with AI. The demand's high. Buying chips, so I'm not going to sell out of AMD now. Obviously, when the shift happens, which I believe will be, let's say 2030. In 2030, it hits the revenue numbers that I believe it can hit in 2030. Then I will probably sell 80% of my position, if not all of it. Same with SoFi. If I believe their growth story's gone, or they are starting to slow down with growth, then I'll be pretty much out of SoFi, if not like again 70-80% of it. But the growth story's not slowing down anytime soon, so why would I sell now? That's kind of how I'd go about it. I think Palantir is just an abnormal kind of company because it's the TAM is just huge. It can go to any company in the world. Like the fact that they don't even have 1,000 customers yet is crazy, and there's companies out there with like software companies out there with like tens of thousands of customers. So there's so much more room to grow Palantir, and the quality of customers that they have. Like I say earlier in the stream, they're spending more on their contracts because it does the work. Like mortgage fraud took, I can't remember the company off the top of my head now, I think roughly took about 6 months or so, and with the Palantir software it took like 6 hours. So you're just saving so much money in that sense, so that's why they're spending more with Palantir. It helps with supply chain issues. It's just going to be like an operating system. Thoughts on PayPal? I don't like what I saw. It's not growing. I mean, it's 8p. The PE ratio is like 8 from last time I saw now. Like, it's so cheap, you could say. Like, it is. But then also, companies don't go on forever. Companies do die. And is the cycle of PayPal dying? And that's what people are worried about. There's not really growth happening with PayPal. And also, like, what I showed earlier, this PayPal CEO in January 2024, we will shock the world. 2 years later, the stock has been dead money. So nothing's really happened. So I know what we're gonna do. Let's have a look at this. because I've generally not had a look at this. Palantir, what is the RSI looking like? Oh my days. Oh my days. We are oversold on the daily. Last time we were oversold was probably April. No, not even April we were oversold. Not even April we were not even oversold. Last time we were oversold was 2024. April. So if you believe in technicals and go off technicals, Palantir look good. SoFi, I bet that's SoFi. We're literally oversold on the RSI. Last time was probably April. Let's have a look. Yeah, March, April time, oversold. And then once we touch the oversold, we bounce way up. I'm not saying we're at a bottom, but there's a lot of signals now saying within some of these individual stocks that we could be. Like I say though, I guess it's probably, you could say on the week though, it's nowhere near oversold. I mean, even on the weekly, we're looking like oversold, which, quite interesting. I mean, Oscar's probably, yeah. Oscar's just down in the dumps. Fubo will be the exact same. So many stocks in that. And it's just crazy because, like, we barely have been in this position before in a lot of these stocks. So, technicals. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, RSI can stay in the oversold longer than I think. 100% I get that. But if you're just going off, like, the history of things, like, it's very rare that it is in the oversold part on the RSI. Like, just going back off history. So if you go off history in that sense, like, it looks like a good buy, but obviously not financial advice. But I'm not a big technical trader, so we're not going to go into that. I just find that interesting looking at things like that, because it'll be interesting to come back at this in a month's time and see. Yeah, no, my brother invests £50 a week still. I don't invest in the S&P 500. That's because I'm just a nerd and look at stocks all the time. So I just want to be in individual stocks. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a good point, because the Mag 7... Is there like a Mag 7... Guys, is there like a Mag 7 tracker that I can type in and look at? What would it be called? I would have thought it'd be like Mag 7. Let's have a look at the VIX. See, the VIX are not even that high. Is it? So it's this, is it? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, see, that's the thing, isn't it? The Mag 7, because obviously they control quite a lot of the S&P 500 and QQQs and all that. They've not... It's obviously saying 9% roughly there. That kind of makes sense, because that's probably why the QQQs are down like 6%, because the Mag 7s haven't dramatically dropped. Like, they've not given crazy prices. Like, it's nothing amazing. Like, you're like, whoa, this is so cheap in that sense, compared to the individual stocks where they've just absolutely had a beating. But like, even the Russell 2000 just hasn't. We will have to see. Oh, for a minute then, I thought we were on 145,000 then. I was like, oh, we're back. Yeah, but like, yeah, Amazon's down off after earnings because their capex spend's mental, like 9% here. But like, it's not like what I'm saying is it's not like, oh, they've gone down all the way to like 170. It's like, whereas some of these individual stocks, it's like they've got to some decent prices. Like they've really had corrections. I know obviously the big companies aren't going to have corrections like the individual stocks, but I mean Meta's had a bit of a tough time, hasn't it, for a while? So, But anyway, what's people buying? Let me know in the chat. What's people buying? Hit the like button if you're enjoying this stream. It's much appreciated, especially in these dark times. Iron's earnings, yeah, they missed. Did they miss? Okay, capex guidance. 200 billion. Amazon comes on top. 200 billion and 100. I thought 180 billion was loads, which it is in Google, but Amazon just do 200. Do you reckon they just saw Google and just went, yeah, let's do 200? S&P 500 are now traded red in 6 of the last 7 trading days. Let's see if I can get the iron earnings. So I want like the oh, what? What happened there? That's how I'm feeling with the stock market. That's tough. I'd have to look into that. Blimey. I can't sleep, too much red on my screen. Yeah, honestly, guys, I would just close your apps and don't even watch me. Do you know what I mean? Just close your apps. Don't even watch stock videos. Just watch a series or do whatever to distract yourself, and just, if you've like run out of cash, do you know what I mean? Just don't even bother. There's no point. And then come back when things are better. But if you've got cash, well, maybe you might want to keep an eye on the stock market to see if you can get better deals, or pick up some now. Do you think this year will look like 2022? I mean, 2022 was pretty brutal, but I would not be surprised. But if it did do a 2022, I do think we could have like a few months of just trading sideways for like months on end, just so earnings can catch up with the valuations that it's at. And then as soon as you know it, the stock market in general, and also just like a lot of individual companies, just look so cheap to the point where a reverse will happen, and then FOMO will hit. Everyone will want to be getting in and piling into stocks. Like Ondas is getting absolutely obliterated. And this, and I was wrong with Ondas because their earnings was great, and then they've got earnings coming up soon, and there's a lot of expectations that they're going to be great, so they have to be great. But I will hold my hands up. I did get Ondas wrong. I didn't think they were going to grow like that, but I didn't look into them. See, a lot of the crazy names that people were going on about are getting hit. What's another small cap? Yeah, I'm still holding Fubo. Yeah, to be fair, I think I'm going to end off the stream here, but yeah, I thought I'd stream because I thought hopefully this stream's helped. Hopefully this stream has helped people. So yeah, hopefully it has helped a lot. And yeah, just like, the one thing I'll say is think long term, and you don't need this money now. If you do need this money now, then you should have not got into the stock market, like, period. You just shouldn't have not got into the stock market. And hopefully this can be a lesson learned for the people that have got into the stock market needing the money within a few months or a year. So yeah, hopefully that's a lesson learned, but think long term, know what you hold, do the research, and stock market goes up and the stock market goes down, and it goes up just as quick as it can go down. So remember that, guys. And should I actually show you how much I'm down in the last 3 months? Okay, let's do it. Do I look? I kind of know anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've not even shown my screen. Yeah. Well, hopefully this is as transparent as you can get. So hopefully you guys appreciate this, because I could easily just not show this. But like I say, I just wanted, it's for myself to look back on in years to come, to show people that you can just, do you know what I mean, do it. Holy hairball. Good stream, bro. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Please hit the like button, and yeah, and bigger things coming in the next few months. Going to be moving into my house eventually when I move in, and also, well, I need to kind of do it up a bit before I actually move in. I'll be doing, hopefully I'll start doing like 4 videos a week on my YouTube channel. I'll be like the most consistent I've ever been on YouTube, because I have my own office. I'll be able to film whenever I want. Yeah, hopefully I'll just take it more seriously. I want to take it more seriously with YouTube, but it's just the time and everything. So, but yeah, when I move in, hopefully I'll start doing more videos and record more videos, and hopefully help everyone out. Appreciate it, Tom. Thanks. How much did I put in? You can see it says 63,000. £63,000 net deposits. But then when in doubt, zoom out. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Appreciate every single one of you. Subscribe if you're brand new, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next stream / video.